Hey there, Joy of the World friends and family. I am Joy, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. We're ready to spruce this thing up and get that nasty grass on out of here and get you into your divine self, where you wake up every day like, I get to live today and enjoy myself and express myself and be connected to life. This is what excites me. So this is coming in for Sagittarius. So let's get into that. I'm going to shuffle up some color cards. With the split, activate your healing power to live an extraordinary life. We've been talking about tasting and seeing that life is good, because life says, don't you think I feel dry too? I'm here affording all this, but no one's speaking in the truth and the clarity, helping others know how to bring it in, how to fully experience this and awaken the dreamer into an environment where their dreams flourish. And I don't mean these mindsets. I'm talking about the truth, what you came here with, what you desire in the marrow of your bones. So let's get a color card for Sagittarius here, what we're bringing in. Now, if you hear me talk about dates or times or planetary things, that's fine if you show up calendarically, but I will tell you these reads are always eternal, meaning if your spirit and soul guides you here, that they know what they are doing. So trust, okay? Enjoy clear hearing. So let's get on to this message. All right, they are ready. Let's move it, Sagittarius. Let's get the groove thing on. Who's feeling a little groovy? Some groove thing? I see gold attracting abundance. Okay, so for many of you, whatever bits and bobbles you've been through for a time have dried up the resources. We can talk about, like my lips, that sunshine's been getting me. Drying up your resources, whether that's inspiration, motivation, financial, comrades, that type of thing. It's all of it. Maybe it's just the heaviness. So let's cleanse and clear some of that on out of here. Release that on out. So just take a nice deep breath with me. Breathe in. Inside out through your mouth. And refocus your energy. One more time. Breathing it in. And sighing it out through your mouth. Good stuff. Well, I think with that, I want to get a focus card, okay? Let's do that for you right here. It says I have a voice and that voice matters. Let's get this moving around and let's bring in a little bit of focus for Sagittarius, our Sagittarian energy. Remember, we are the whole zodiac. So you can dance around this channel at anything that calls you in, because it's your body trying to tune in those parts to make you mindful in those areas so that you can notice what Spirit's been telling you along your path every day. So in came, it is my birthright to thrive, shine, and succeed. I know you love that, Sagittarius, because that isn't one single note. That's not flat. That is a chorus. That is a chord. It's time to get dancing and put some light into your feet. Maybe go out and see a movie. Maybe get together with a small friend group, 2 or 3 people, maybe yourself included. And that begins to attract the abundance, the awakening, because you have a lot to share. That's what I'm seeing here. Your sparkle, your shine, your effervescence, like the bubbles inside of a soda or champagne or whatever, they get activated more when you remove the top, right? And so it's time for you to talk and share a little bit, all right? Let's see. I'm going to get one of these cards as well. I still don't know what they're called, y'all. Sacred Door, something, Oracle. They're called Here and Now. So let's bring in something along with this gold, that effervescence of Sagittarius, some inspiration, a volunteer, some inspiration, some motivation, some financial abundance, some support, stag spirit, leadership. Okay. Talking about things are going to pick up and formulate when you step out, when you step forward. And that doesn't just mean leaving the house. That means rising up, shaking off that lethargy that's been holding on to you. You know your formula. You know the couple of things that you can pull out at your disposal that will get it cranking. It won't feel good the first moment or two. Like if you haven't gotten up early in a long time, the first few days are toughies. And I can tell you with that, if you do 3 short sniffs in a row, 3 sets of it, it'll get your mind oxygenated, and then you're able to start moving forward. Okay, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3. And it gets that clarity of mind going, and it enables you to power forward. So maybe that's a bit of refocusing in everything you do, and it gets that headiness out of here, that fog, that cloudiness. Talking about clout. Maybe some of you feel like you've lost the momentum that you had built with the people group, maybe in business. Maybe you've had to reformulate because of the world moving more home-based, technology-based, and that might have been some of what dried you up, and you're ready to get out and get moving and grooving again. Begin to set your feet on the earth wherever you want to on the earth, into big ideas and that sort of thing. With that, we're going to bring in some affirmatives. Oh, look at the bottom. Release the judgment. Step into the sunshine. Be the sun and not the mouse or the mountain. Okay? This divinity coming on in, shining on you. Because that's the big life. Ooh, we got this under the bottom. Look at that. That's getting you excited and stirred up. Now, if it is, you can check out the Chiron read. Chiron actually joins right up with you because Chiron is a centaur. So he actually occurs through most of Scorpio and part of Sagittarius, and it leads into the heart of the sky. And Chiron's the healer, the big healer is what we say. Healing that gap, bringing in that refreshment, that refreshing that you need. And you're like, you came in, again, accord, getting in one accord. You have all this deliciousness coming on in here. Look at that. It looked on top a bit like that. So just that yummy, yummy to my tummy, bring in that satisfaction with that stag leadership. So stag is when we go from our wound, and our wound gets healed, and it begins to be our pure, perfect spirit leading and guiding us forward, fully connected, honed in, because it's not just a horn. It is a whole chandelier, candelabra. It's going to be for a fun night. You're saying a long night, but not like a drudgery, humdrum type of night. Why? Because 4 of Wands is over here. Lighten it up. Look at you relaxing to the max and enjoying yourself, maybe dreaming of a tropical vacation. I know where I live isn't tropical, but it is a beautiful place to be. So anyways, letting that inspiration spring forth, that as you start to move about, I keep hearing the movement, it begins to stir those waters, it begins to get the fluids pumping, it begins to get your spiritual energy sparkling off, and that creativity will stir up, rise up into your feet. And you're just needing a vessel to put it in. Well, for one, the season's changing, hopefully. I don't know if they change where you are. If you're near the equator, they don't. But that can be a spark of inspiration, a change of scenery, the way things look. So even if you're not able financially to get moving just yet, take a look around you at the changes going on. And that will be testimony enough to remind your spirit that yes, things will not stay the same. They are changing. We are growing. We are expanding. But as we saw in the collective read the other day, the expansion is skyward. That's why I love that stag spirit is in here. This is like a honing vessel, like a homing pigeon, drawing it in, bringing it into your my corona. I know it's my Sharona, but anyway. All right. So I also want to get, no, we don't. You're saying that's because stag spirit came in, we're not going to get the traditional animal card going on over here. So let's instead, you're being efficient, aren't you? You're like, get to it, get to it. Okay. Temperance, baby. And that doesn't mean patience. That means process. All right. So you're like, let's process. Let's get through this. Let's get a couple more cards. I see you. Thank you for Sagittarius, since we are being so efficient here. You can see how cooped up you've been. All right. I'm not, forget even what the creatures are. Look at all this. Trapped up in the city. And I don't mean like the city, like a place where you live. It's like all eyes on you, just all that, the crossbars, people being locked up, locked down, hemmed in. That containment has made you very itchy, very like sticky, very sticky. Rummaging around for whatever you can find. Look at that. Now this is that wolf coming in about the old wound, trying to find whatever you can. But like, it's like what you have. This is like Chernobyl. It's like what was left behind after the big nuclear meltdown. And you're just rummaging around trying to find any dog a bone, anything to feed that wound. But I love, because the gold is kind of, it's rising up like this. It's like, haha, this is a big epiphany. Oh, just like your card. Look at that. Root down to rise up, and you will see your 4 angles are going to be activated. All right. So let's activate those 4 angles. Chiron, let's do this. Ace of Wands is coming on in. So it's kind of like what bit you is also going to be the remedy. The venom, the anti-venom, that type of thing, but in a tiny dose. These micro doses. And no, I'm not telling you to microdose. Joy did not say that. If you hear that, that's your soul and spirit. But I'm talking about the peace, the lilies coming on in. Taking peace. All right, where you might have had to rest and to settle down. Just little bits of it now in the midst of your action. They're like punctuation marks. They help the language flow easily. When the eyes move over it, it's like making a plan so you can take action. So just use this pause, this moment to begin to formulate, to begin to get it together, because your card says it is your birthright to thrive, shine, and succeed. So just begin to put down those bullet points, those little punctuation marks, and little jots and tittles and ideas of how to actuate this, okay? Now we're going to look at this other card. The Chariot, y'all. This deck has been well shuffled, and these guys are moving on around. I tell you, we are the whole zodiac now. Love it, because Honey Badger, look, isn't in there pilfering the chickens. Okay, so right before I started back recording, I was out at the beach, and I do my sunrise meditation and my walks out there, and nature begins to speak. And it was telling me that the things that would seem to do you harm do not desire to do you harm. They have no desire. So things that could look scary or intimidating right now and seem in your face are not here as a threat. Life is coming in to harmonize with you and begin to provide assistance, even in things that seem like resistance, pushback, whatever else. Don't let your spirit get tangled in that. See, the spider has left the web. Don't get tangled up in that. Rise up through it and find the peace in it. Find the connection to spirit in it, right? Here we go. That's that cosmic blue. You are cosmic, and life is on the way to help deliver you from this. But it's going to seem kind of like an ejector button. And you're like, oh, I don't want to have that happen. Well, if you're in the midst of it, press that thing and be like, wee! Okay? Honey Badger's smiling with that, because it's forward-moving energy. We're moving from this moon-mindedness, this being entranced by the old Neptunian hum coming in. And I'm not against Neptune, but where it has been lodged in Pisces for so long has done a grave disservice. But that is part of the mind numbing that brought in this plasma era, where the mind is now wanting to pop off and effervesce. It's like when the liquid it's decanted when you pour it out. Whatever it is, when it's piped into the bottles and the vessels and things, it's flat when it's put in there. But they put in the things that with a little bit of time, it creates that gas release. We won't go into how. We won't go into that. But it creates that release that allows the bubbles to begin to build up inside of there. And that's that bit of pressure you've been picking up on. But it's that golden self trusting that is on the horizon, that is coming to greet you and to meet you. So anything that seems threatening or intimidating, and I don't mean legit, y'all. We're not talking about physical safety here. You have to trust yourself in that. You know what I'm talking about. Those old things like clashes in family harmonics, maybe a job that you're so tired of. It can be these old mindsets like, I can't take one more day. Just like the other day, I was wanting to check out. I'm like, I just want to close my eyes and not have this be there when I open them up. And I don't mean a thing or a place or a person. I'm talking about the situational evidence trying to convince me that this is who I am and this is all that it is. Is that ringing a bell with you? Okay. Honey Badger sure seems to show me such. All right. Well, okay, we're going to get Starman. They ready to fly. It's ready to open up, almost like a color sample book. I don't know if any of you deal with interior design, but is it Pantone? It's these color books that designers use, that all the little swatches that are at home stores and things are bound together in one book, and it just fans on out. So you can just start making your choices, setting out your preference and your taste. That means doing away with the fear of the right or wrong. Okay, that's what's talking about the once bitten, twice shy. We're going into accuracy. We're going into preferences. We're going into things like that. Ooh, the tower coming on in. And this is one that falls down. This is one that lights up. It's cutting on kind of like the Tesla coil. Powering up, because lightning is plasma. Absolutely love that. And you're like, ooh, I have permission to be myself. I'm like, yes. We don't need any duplicate crayons in the box. I'm ready for you to come on in, or like Bob Barker says, or Drew Carey, come on down. Bring in your stuff. I see you. Okay. No, so we're going to wind back. Okay, you're doing the serpentine fire. All right, serpentine fire, a little earth, wind, and fire going in there. All right, they're all face down. I see you. And then we have one to go under stag. Okay, so stag has joined us. This stag spirit leadership coming on in isn't one that just gets put in place and then walks to the front while everybody else is behind, you know, having no awareness of what's in there. It's like, I come alongside. I come like the thumb. I come in to join you in this venture. Okay, so we are going to look at stag first. 6 of Swords, and it is upside down. The birth of a new era. Birth of a new era is what he's talking about here. That trusting yourself, the rebirth of yourself, your soul coming forward. Having taken account of what all you've experienced in your life, of who you came through, and the people groups and persons and whatever else that you've experienced through school, through family, through career. You can take, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly is in there. And kind of like when you start cleaning out, you sort it out. This one goes to trash. This one goes to recycle. This one goes to donation. This one stays. All right. And some are in the check it twice pile. So that's kind of what Stag Spirit is talking about here, is sorting through those type of energies, because you don't have to carry what doesn't seem to suit you or sit with you. There is no judgment there. That's why they're talking about us releasing the justice and releasing the judgment, because those are things that are already being processed and taken care of. Our mind is so astute, kind of like a phone. It can take an image, and you're not having to carry around these grand photo books, but yet you can print it out on demand whenever you want. So it's talking about you. This great big idea is you. I like that. Yeah, see, look at that old thing of having to fight and having to battle the masks, the mirrors, the chameleon, the shifting, the changing, the prowess, the capabilities, that type of stuff. It's like it has nothing to do with this. This is your birthright, and it is time. And time is on the horizon, is what Stag Spirit is talking about. Well, I want to get a little more on that. If time is on the horizon, time is on the horizon. Okay. Okay, so I see it. Time is on the horizon. We're going to get into the Pitman over here. Hey, Stag Spirit, tell us about this time on the horizon for Sagittarius, and maybe even the Chiron of Fucus coming on in here. Tell us about this. I know you can't see, but that one is already flipped. I love this deck because it's a black, white, and red deck. Now, if you don't know, that's how we first see, is in black, white, and red. First, we see blurry. Then we begin to see shapes, and we see black, white, and red. Look at this. The whole thing. It's all aligned and divined. There's a couple little... It's like when you find a vintage record, but yet it's what you have been looking for. If it isn't glossy, shiny, new, straight out of the package kind of thing, he's saying, don't reject it. Those things will map out. They will smooth out. They will hone out with time. And I'm not talking about on the record, of course, but I'm talking about in the mind, in the karma, maybe even in your house of Libra, because it's talking so much about Libra was once known as the claws of Scorpius. It's called Scorpius in astronomy, but Scorpio. But that leading into Sagittarius, so it's all this attachment. And it's not that we need detachment. It's about that we need harmony, unison, driving together into a focus. And you're wanting foresight here. And foresight is telling you, hey, get moving. You've got everything it takes. You have everything there. You have all your ducks in a row, all the things in a row. There are a couple of snags and snigs along the way, but those things will smooth themselves out. It's kind of like certain things when they heat up, the oil just melts and moves on out. That's what's going to happen and take care of it for you. So that's what Stag Spirit is telling us to do with the 6 of Swords going on there. So now we're going to jump over here to Badger, the Chariot, to get things moving under the Knight of Cups, under the shift of experience, into the shift of the seasons, and how to adapt and flourish. And you're talking about fly, how to take off and how to soar. Okay, we have another incoming. It's upside down. We have the Six of Wands. And it's talking about kinetic power, stirring it up, the Six of Wands. For some of you, that can be physical expression, whatever your physical expression is. Bicycling, stretching, yoga, Tai Chi, martial arts, cartwheels, dancing, especially some dancing coming on in here. And with that, it's like, woo, woo, raise the roof. But also make sure you do conserve your energy. What they're saying is don't just rip it and leave it open, those bubbles, right? Just, oh, let the good times flow, that type of thing. It's talking about these small gains, okay? That you pour it out, you cap it up, and you keep it as primed as possible, right? And it's not being stingy. No, it's just simply being thoughtful. You're not being wasteful in the fact that you're just letting it flow for no reason. That it's being applied into a vessel and into a conduit. What is this conduit? Because I see that wand coming on in. I know this can look like a lot of noise going on in here. But see, there's that wand, that conduit. It's coming to try and meet you. Almost like there was some movie where, like in Lucy, Scarlett Johansson, is that her name? Anyways, it's coming, that technology, that which plasma, cosmic can be a technology, is coming in trying to meet you. So I want to see how. We're going to go into the limitless possibilities here. It's down this lower half. And then I'm going to get a tea leaf on it. Thank you. So the conduit, the connection, the bringing and the support, the help, the helping hand. Wishing well. Let it be known. You don't have to go telling others. They're talking about first you need to express it to yourself of, I would really like assistance with this. I would like support in this area. Talk to your spirit, your guides, your totem, nature around you. Talk to yourself. Let it be known. Be very clear in it. That's what those bullet points, it's marking back to that. But I love that because that is the harmonizing of these separate energies. Okay, because we have water, we have the wands, and we have the earth going on here, but it's creating the harmony of it, almost like a plant. Think of it like a plant because it takes the sun and the water to help the earth grow. And that's 48. I absolutely love it. But look, it's already there answering. Maybe you haven't noticed because your eyes have been down for a while. So look up and know that life is here on your side. So we're going to find out what else is here. This one's volunteering as well. So let's go ahead and take that. I want to see why this one piggybacked in. Heal the ouch of the magic prayer. So there's a little bit of wounding going around of things that haven't come true, that haven't come forward. Maybe you still had some lingering desires in your heart where you reached out and you trusted and you believed and it failed, it faltered, or it just fizzled. It never even came through. So we're talking a little bit about nervous system stuff going on here, vagal nerve, because when you're too full, there's not room for the incoming. And I'm not saying that you have to do this. I'm just saying if it's something that you're like, oh yeah, I've had a lot of pressure. I've had maybe like pain in my back or in my stomach, or felt nauseated at times, or like migraine headaches. There's a simple vagal nerve technique where you take both your hands and you can lay down or sit up, but usually for the first time, it's easier for them if they lay down, your bed, the floor, whatever. And you just place your hands at the back of your head and the elbows are out and you're resting. And there you go. Yeah, that's how full mine is. So the first thing they have you do is look to the left, and you just hold your eyes there. You don't push them there. You don't smash them there. You just look towards the left, and eventually it'll come in a sigh or yawn. You can go ahead and laugh right now. Insert the laugh track. That's great, y'all. And it begins to make room for this we'll say trust, because trust is very much a spiritual, physical soul connection. It's saying it takes up a little bit of space. So it's needing some room. That's really the ouch is too much, is trying to crowd in or pile in on top of it. And the thing is if you're still feeling a bit of stress or restriction, you can also then, after you get a couple of releases, they're super effective, then you can look to your right. And so once your body gets used to knowing that, oh, okay, you're understanding what's going on with us and this is our time to release it, you can then do it sitting up. You can do it at a table when you've had a long time sitting around at a meal or in a drive in the car. You can put it up there and your body will find ways to release it, okay? So that's what Honey Badger has about your whole self, paying attention to the whole picture, not just denying certain things, stifling certain things, trying to look at what seems enticing or rewarding. They're saying you shouldn't have to have any offset or sacrifice along the way. Okay, so here we're talking about that medicine. Remember, just those little bits, the small gains, the not getting trapped in it, but rising up above it. Up above it. Why? Because you're going to get out of that nuclear waste zone from the toxic people, toxic world, toxic environment. And it's not having to kick people out. It's literally getting that energy out of your field, so that everywhere you go, there you are, and the amnios is you, because that's your world. That's what you live and breathe. Oh, I love it, because it is the world. Now, I know all these are incoming. That deck is upside down and right side up, but look at that. There's another eye. Stag Spirit's telling me to show you this. So what starts as a seed or a dream comes into a reality. You will taste and see it. The world will line up for you, and there won't be that old Chernobyl, desolate, empty, devoid, lonely, miserable place. No, we have the fireflies coming in, and to me those are like living wishers, kind of like living dandelions. They fly around, they light up, and they're like, yes please, yes please. So as your mind is watching them, we get into this zone that is kind of like mesmerization, and it's like a miracle zone where the fool and the magician work together to bring in the beauty and the life you desire. So take a look at those wings. Dragonfly eyes coming on in. You've got big dreams and lots of them. And you know what? Stag Spirit says, lifting the nose up like, yeah, and then some and greater. You're not making them nervous with all this that you got, all this that you are bringing. They're like, bring it on. Come on, we are ready to inhabit it. Kind of like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you dream it, it will be fulfilled. So remember to clear that vagal nerve if that's something you feel called to do, okay? Remember, it's your birthright to thrive, shine, and succeed. I'm going to say it right now, and you can say it with me. It is my birthright to thrive, shine, and succeed. It is my birthright to thrive, shine, and succeed. Look at that golden self. Come on down. Beautiful one. Now with the Ace of Pentacles, so that was under the Four of Wands. That was under the celebration. The victory is literally you will taste and see. You will celebrate this. You are going to relax in divine. There is no efforting or work in it. It's just the preparing and the planning, okay? That is the process. Have no fear. Have no fear. So now under the Ace of Pentacles, we have this coming in. Haven't been rooting around the trash trying to find any scrap of life around you that could begin to whet your appetite. Okay? And with that, we got our first upright card, which means it is already here with you. These things are going to begin to come forward. See how they've kind of been buried in the muck and the mire? These are things about yourself that are not to have been buried. They were the seeds that need to come forth to shine, that others need to see and receive. You might have been a little bit intimidated or shy about it and thinking, well, I don't want to be so suchy much or braggadocious or whatever. You know, everybody has these, no big deal. And like David Bowie right up in here going, blowing on that. I love it. So that's a lot of Aquarian and Jupiter energy coming on in, tagging along with the Pisces and going in through the keyhole of Chiron. Now, you do not have to understand anything I just said. Your spirit does. These are almost like little cheat codes that we have going on in here. That's like, yep, And so, but the unique thing is because they come in that way, they come in you. They come in for you. Your spirit and soul knows how to bring it forth into your light, into your divineness, into your taste buds. Do you get what I'm saying? They know how to make your salad bar the way you like it. And this isn't me putting anything on you. This is you opening up to yourself. This is your divine self. And ooh-wee. Talking about, I have to say it for a second. They're talking about spread your legs. Some of you is putting your legs up the wall, getting that gravity to come on down and allowing the pelvis to open. And it doesn't mean all the things that could be running through your mind. It's literally letting gravity work with you. Okay, gravity is the perpendicular. Like we have the latitude and the longitude like this, and then gravity is the perpendicular. It's where the feelings come from. So they're wanting you to begin to feel the star that you are, feel the charisma that you have, the confidence that you have, awaken them, unearth them. The things that you buried, that you kind of curse and disdain when some things didn't work out, you spit upon, you stomped on, you might have even thrown them away, but your imagination knows how to bring it back in. And there's already a bit of a following that you have. Now, these are nature spirits at first. But then there's divine beings coming on in, and then there is the uploading of something greater than you could think or imagine. Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay, Sagittarius. See that egg coming on in here? That was on the split. Now they want me to get a tea leaf for you to see. That's a lot. We're not doing that. No. Remember, we're keeping it clean and light. It's easy and no effort for Sagittarius. Tell us about this Ten of Pentacles. Fan and bird flying. Romance, celebration, and party. We were already talking about some of that. That's that world coming on in, tasting and seeing. That's also this Four of Wands, right? It's nice to have that time to yourself, but also to have others of, when I say like-minded, I mean like-energied. It's various and diverse so that it's entertaining and energetic, but it's also relaxing and calm because there is no competition there. And so it also comes in bird flying. News is on the way. That news of prayers answered, of blessings, of winnings, of inheritance. And I just don't all mean money, y'all. I'm talking about we're just opening our mind to the and yes, then some, right? Remember, Stag Spirit is saying even more than you can think or imagine. Well, I'm excited to walk this journey with you. Hey, if you're still here, that means you like something. You can click that like button down below. It is free and it helps us rise to the top. You could also consider joining and jumping on this joy train by hitting the subscribe. They will notify you anytime I post new videos. It doesn't make a noise, doesn't make a sound. It's just when you show up to YouTube, they're like, hey, in case you want to take a look, we've got this going on over here. So I'm excited. Leave me comments down below about what is going on in your life. Maybe one of those things that you're looking forward to coming in, one of your dreams. Also, stop back by. Check out any of the other reads. Remember, I love you. Talk soon.